Alright, today we're going to be ranking video game series I'd want to live in. And I'm going to be honest, the rules are going to change a lot. But we're going to assume I'm me. I'm not the main character. I just live here. And we're going to start off with the Mario series. And honestly, I mean, the Mushroom Kingdom would be okay to live in. I mean, I guess you can watch all the sporting events, drive cars maybe, but I just don't feel like being in a war all the time because I feel like Bowser and Mario and all of them are always fighting. So, you know, it's going to be a solid B tier. It's a little better than like medium just because I feel like the quality of life there is pretty solid, but also, I don't know, just don't feel like it. If we're talking specifically Luigi's Mansion, we're going to drop that down to like the E tier because I don't want to live with ghosts. That would not be fun. Legend of Zelda. See, Zelda's hard because there's so many different things of it. If we're talking like Wind Waker and all of that, yeah, I think there'd be better places you can be. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, no, I'm good. I don't want to. It really depends on the era. I think having to live with Ganon would kind of suck, and there'd be a lot. Right now, I am thinking very much of like Ocarina of Time. If that's what we're talking about, Ocarina of Time, Young Link timeline, when he's still young, that'd be a vibe. I don't know. The only thing is there's not that much going on. You could live in the castle and like work a day-to-day job. Maybe by the Mountain of Death, that little village. It would be an okay life, but knowing how that timeline ends, we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna go C tier. We're just gonna assume it doesn't die with that. Kirby would be a vibe. I feel like there's just food everywhere, and my day-to-day would just be walking around and eating food. There does seem to be a lot of people who want to destroy the universe in Kirby, which I don't know how I feel about that. So, I think we're just... But you know what? Once again, I'm assuming they're going to leave me alone. I'm just going to do my thing, and Kirby would be kind of a vibe. I can't hate on the Kirby universe. Honestly, I think Pokemon would be really fun. I really don't see a downside to living in the Pokemon universe. You mean I get to have my own Pokemon and just vibe? Because I'm not the main character. I don't got to worry about the villains. Who gives a shit? Because the Pokemon villains don't do anything really that'll like... Oh no, we're gonna create new land like Omega Ruby. I'm good, and I get to be my own Pokemon trainer. That would be fun. You can't tell me you wouldn't want to walk around collecting Pokemon, doing all that. Can't hate on that. Pokemon's instant S. I would love to live there. Okay, the Sonic series. See, the only issue with the Sonic series is I would be like the only human besides Eggman. And you know, he's got a pretty bad rap, so I don't think they'd be very friendly to me. But I'm gonna put it in D just because of that, but I think the overall world is cool. That'd be fine. I wouldn't mind living there, I guess. I just don't think it'd be I wouldn't be able to do much there, you know what I'm saying? Alright, moving on to Resident Evil. I've played the majority of these games, and it's an instant no. There is not a single Resident Evil game that you'd want to live in. Just everywhere. Everybody's always dying. There's just nowhere safe. It is an apocalypse all the time. And not even like an apocalypse, like, oh, you can maybe avoid it. No. You cannot live in a singular big city across the world. It will get hit by some virus instantly. You do the wrong thing, and you're just instantly infected with a virus. There's nothing you can do in this universe. It would suck. You wouldn't want to live here. See, the issue with rating the Tomb Raider series is, like, this is assuming I'm just a regular person, but that's kind of lame because the Tomb Raider series is just Earth and nothing's changed. So I'm going to base this one off of what I want to do this activity, and you know, I think it'd be kind of fun. I would enjoy that. I don't know if I'd want to die, but you know, I wouldn't mind exploring, treasure hunting. I don't think I'd enjoy parts if I had to go in like a cave or something. I'm not a big fan of caves. I'd rather not have 10,000 feet of rock above my head. Thank you very much, but that kind of defeats the point of putting in B. But you know what? I'm sticking with it. Mountain climbing, you know, walking. I played the Tomb Raider like reboot. That was a fun game. You got to hunt and stuff. I think I wouldn't mind doing that. It would be cool. Once again, Ace Attorney is kind of one of those things. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna be honest, haven't played these games. I'm pretty sure it's just you're a lawyer. I'm good, man. Good paycheck, but I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to deal with that. Okay, Silent Hill, I'm gonna be honest, don't know too much about this one either. All I know is it's just always foggy there. If we're assuming I'm living in the town of Silent Hill, well, first off, I'd be dead. But, okay. So we're gonna assume I'm living in Silent Hill. Honestly, it's not nearly as bad as Resident Evil. It's still bottom tier. It's still bottom tier. Silent Hill would still be bottom tier if you did this. But Resident Evil is a whole nother level. I mean, I guess Silent Hill, you have Pyramid Head. But he's like one guy. Okay, hear me out on the Dark Souls one. I'm gonna put this in C tier. It's C tier if I'm like a knight or something like that. Because if I'm just like a regular person, that's going down to D tier. But if I'm like a knight, C tier, because I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a lot of fun, you know, cool little quest. Maybe it's a little ridiculous putting that next to Zelda, but you know what? I'm gonna assume I'm like a knight or something. Probably gonna die pretty quick, but it's gonna be a fun time. Like, I wouldn't mind camping there. I think camping in the Dark Souls series would be cool. But yeah, no. Okay. After further review, I am gonna have to bump up Zelda to B tier because this is kind of a ridiculous take to have Zelda and Dark Souls in the same one, especially if I'm going off of Ocarina. Actually, you know what? I need to completely redo Zelda because Zelda needs to go in. If we're going off of Ocarina of Time, I have a full civilization. I have all of that. You're honestly not living a bad life in the Zelda universe. Assuming that there's not actively a war going on of Ganon, you have a pretty solid life. And, you know, I want to apologize to the Zelda fans for the first, 5 minutes of this video where I had them in a bad spot. Alright, Football Manager, no, literally nothing about this. It just doesn't... I don't want to be a football manager. Cool, thanks. See, Pac-Man, if we're living in the Pac-Man universe, if it's like the Pac-Man games on the GameCube, I don't know, could be okay. If it's the maze, and my entire world is that maze, I am good. I don't want to have my neighbors be 4 ghosts and a man who eats balls. Also, how would I live? You know, am I also gonna have to eat the balls? I'm good. No, thank you. You know, Splatoon would be cool. The only issue with living in the Splatoon universe is I feel like I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff because I wouldn't be able to turn into a squid. And I think that would make life pretty hard. But I think they would accommodate. Honestly, I think B tier just because I'm not sure how much of that world actually depends on being a squid. Another benefit is I would be one of the only people who could swim. So, you know, that would be cool. Castlevania, I mean, I don't really know what that world looks like, to be honest with you. If I am living in the castle, I'm going to have to give that a solid E tier because I would be too scared. One, I don't want to be turned into a vampire because I like the sun, believe it or not. And two, I don't really want to live for hundreds of thousands of years. That'd be kind of lame. Yeah, and I don't think it'd be nice to live in a castle where everything's trying to kill me. Castlevania's gonna have to sit in bottom E just because, it's everything's trying to kill you. Where, Luigi's Mansion, there's the ghost, but I feel like that's more livable. Okay, Little Nightmares. If I'm one of the little people, don't think that'd be cool. And even then, I honestly... the ship, there's a lot of really big people there, and you know, I'm not a scrawny guy, but I feel like any of them could beat me in a fight, and they all seem to fight over food a lot. It makes me think there might be a food shortage in that universe. And overall, I don't know, man, there's some people with magical powers and stuff. I don't know, I don't like the vibe of it. Even if I am a regular sized person, it just doesn't seem like a good time. Everything's all dark and gloomy. It kind of feels like a world that's overrun with something, and I just don't want to deal with that, man. The Halo universe, I think it'd be cool. The only thing is, if I'm just a regular guy, I'm probably on Earth. There's probably some advanced technology. The thing is, we're at war the entire time. I also don't really enjoy that the flood exists. I'd be worried about that. Well, actually, if I was just a person on Earth, would I know about the flood? Assuming I do, I'd be scared of that. The fact that there's just a parasite that, you know, that I'm part of a connect. I said I don't want to deal with that. But if I'm just chilling on Earth, some advanced technology, that'd be nice. Halo, I guess, is Halo Reach set on Earth? Because if it's... So then there's a couple battles that have hit Earth, yeah. And, you know, there's the Halo ring. If that goes off, everything in the universe dies, but I can't really do anything about that. I think C is a fair placement, you know. I don't see an issue with C. Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm gonna be honest, the only Xenoblade game I've played, and I talked about this 2 videos ago, is Xenoblade Chronicles X. And what I remember from that is that the Earth blew up and people are on a planet where we haven't been before, and if you walk outside of civilization, you just pretty much die instantly. And given that there is the entire planet blew up and there's only one town left, it's like it's an E. I mean, I could probably make a good life in that town. I'd probably be a little depressed, but it's okay. Forza. So once again, this is one of those series that is set in like just regular Earth. So I pretty much don't want to be a race car driver. I feel like that could go wrong pretty fast, but you know what? It'd be cool in the moment. All right, Sea of Thieves. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one because I'm gonna assume I'm a pirate. And I haven't played too much of this game, but honestly, I wouldn't mind. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean recently, and you know what? It makes it look really fun. I probably wouldn't live that long, but it'd be a fun life. Nintendo Land, so like we're just gonna assume that I can only be at that carnival. And I don't know where I'd find food or a bathroom, and I'm pretty sure I could only run around. Okay, I'll put it above Pac-Man. But besides that, yeah, no, it'd be fun, but I don't know where I'd eat food. And yes, I am leaving Resident Evil above Football Manager. Crazy Taxi? I mean, I don't think it'd be a bad universe to live in. Once again, it's just kind of, do you want to be a taxi driver? And no, not really, but like, worst comes to worst, yeah, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Super Lucky's Tale. This is kind of a random poll just because I got bored and downloaded this game recently. And no, I don't think I'd want to live where I'm in like a book and have to like travel through it for different worlds and stuff. I mean, okay, I'm gonna assume I'm on the farming world, because then I'd have food and it'd be kind of cool because it'd be like concerts and stuff. I could live there. I wouldn't necessarily want to, but I could make it work. Frogger Universe is kind of funny because literally the only difference would be a bunch of frogs trying to cross the road. And honestly, that sounds like a fine trade-off to me. I'm kind of okay with that. I could just, unless, no, we're just gonna say, I was gonna say unless I have to only get places by crossing a road like that, then no, I'm okay. But it's okay. We can just do the frog trying to cross the road. All right, here's the big one, Minecraft. Now there's 2 ways we can look at this. So like, if we're assuming I'm just me and can't really interact with the game, then that would suck. But assuming I can interact with the game's mechanics, I'm gonna put Minecraft in the A tier, just because I think I can make it work. It's not S because 1, I think I'd get lonely, and 2, there are some like scary parts of that game and universe. It's definitely more dangerous than like the Kirby universe. So like, I would make it work. I think it'd be fun, but there are downsides to Minecraft. So, you know, A tier is a solid spot for it. Okay, I haven't played much of Skyrim, but I'm like 95% sure it's just kind of like living back in the medieval times, but dragons are for sure real, and there's a couple people with magic. And you know what? I could make that work. I could make it work. It'd be fun. Last of Us universe would really suck. I'm not gonna lie. That would suck just because there's so many different zombie types. I'm pretty sure there's zombies that can like sprint at you. Yeah, there is. And like Last of Us, you breathe the wrong air and you turn into a zombie. Are you kidding me? I can't breathe air now? No, I'm good. That's going into F tier. That's bottom F. Fallout universe. See, the issue is, like, even if you make it into a shelter, looking at, like, the lore of that, because I've got bored and looked at it. There's like a 90% chance you're gonna die in the shelter anyways. I don't think I'd want to do that. So this is I'm putting in an E, assuming I make it into a shelter, assuming I live through the shelter, and then assuming I can leave the shelter unharmed. Even then, there's like ghouls and stuff. There's a bunch of radiated animals. It's not gonna work out. I'm not gonna make it long, but you know what? We could live it. All right, hello neighbor. This is pretty much a regular universe, except for your neighbor is a weirdo. And I don't know, man. I don't want to deal. See, the thing is, it's really not that bad, but I can't put it above. Like, I'd rather be a tax. I'm gonna put it low D. Animal Crossing. This is another instant S. What do you? I get to go vibe on an. We're gonna even just New Horizons. I get to go vibe on an island. That would be cool. I don't even have to be the mayor. I can just hang out on an island. I can go fishing. I can hang out with my neighbors. Dude, I don't see a downside to living in the Animal Crossing universe. I really don't. The Doom universe. See, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure in Doom Eternal, like 90% of the world just gets wiped out by demons. And even assuming that doesn't happen to me, I don't want to live in a universe where there's just demons everywhere. No, thank you. Still think Resident Evil is better than that, though. Okay, Half-Life. Half-Life would also suck to live in, just because it's like, once again, the world's taken over by aliens. I could be a part of the resistance, but then I'm probably just gonna die. And if I don't do that, it's gonna be a very mediocre life. But I do think it's a very livable universe. I can't put it above Ace Attorney. All right, Skylanders. Skylanders is hard to rank, because if I'm just on some random island in like a village, what do I really do besides farm? I don't know. I don't think it'd work out. I feel like especially if I fall off the island, it's over for me. Skylander, I'm gonna put it E. It's gonna be top of E, but I wouldn't enjoy it. Getting over it. That world would suck. It's an instant F, but it's the highest F. My entire existence would be trying to climb up a mountain with just my arms. I don't have the strength for that, so I don't think that's gonna work out. Fortnite. I'm gonna assume this is Save the World, and based off of that, if I'm just a person, that would not be good to live in. I do think it's the most livable of like the straight zombie apocalypses that are in here. But assuming I can't build or anything like that, and I'm just one of the people that has to hide and get saved, not very fun. Honestly, I'm putting Fortnite below Resident Evil. I know I hyped up Resident Evil a lot, but at least there is a chance you can have a regular life. Or the Fortnite world, there's storms everywhere. It's not gonna work out. Club Penguin is a very high A, and the only reason it's not S is just because I'd get too cold. Okay, Untitled Goose Game. Honestly, this wouldn't be that bad. There's just the one really annoying guy, and he's a goose, and besides that, like, I could live there. I wouldn't mind it. See, GTA would literally just be, do I want to live in a big city, and then there's one guy who doesn't give a shit and breaks all the laws, and I'm okay. It's like a high C. The issue, Dark Souls and C is really throwing me off. Okay, I'm gonna put GTA mid C. Stardew Valley is another instant S. Just because, like, I don't know, I'm just living in a small town. That's cool. There's a beach. I can go to the cave if I really want to. I don't know why I'd do that. I mean, there's multiple job options. You got a bar. Could start my own farm. Could go exploring around. I think it'd be a vibe, you know? I don't see anything wrong with the Stardew Valley universe. That'd be cool. And then Red Dead Redemption is pretty much, do I want to go be back in the time of cowboys? And I kind of got to treat this. You know what? I put Sea of Thieves in A. I'm going to put Red Dead in A. I think it'd be cool to be a cowboy. See, the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, there's two ways we can look at this. If I'm just a regular guy, then yeah, it would. Okay, so we're going to look at Five Nights at Freddy's as I don't work there, but I'm in the same town as the restaurant. And if that's the case, then there's multiple murders in my town. This restaurant's pretty shitty. then yeah, like it's pretty much living in a town where you know there is a serial killer. I gotta put that below Hello Neighbor. It's not an E, because all the ones in D are very livable. Yeah, okay, I don't hate that. Clash of Clans would be cool, but it would also, assuming I'm just me. See, the thing with Clash of Clans is the villagers never die though. So like, if I'm a villager or I'm a builder, I'm chilling, and that's what I'm assuming I am. So in that case, Clash of Clans, I feel like I could get, it'd get a little boring, but I could live there. Finally, Castle Crashers, pretty much me being a knight and doing dumb shit. Yep, that is going in C. Alright, so here's my list. If you disagree with anything, you're wrong, I'm right. And yeah, see you in the next one.